Hello and welcome to Maple Flavored Yoga. I'm Andy and this class is all about our neck and our shoulders. I know I can carry a lot of tension in my neck specifically, so this class is going to hopefully be leaving our necks and shoulders feeling really open and relaxed. So to begin, we will fully come into this space. If you'd like to close your eyes, or if you keep them open, have a soft gaze. Simply come into this moment. Observe whatever you're feeling inside of your body, physically, emotionally, energetically. Allow it to just be whatever it is. No need to change it. Notice your breath. You can begin to connect with your breath now. And just know that for these next few moments, there is nowhere else that you need to be. We'll bring our hands to heart center, bowing our heads. If you'd like to set a sankalpa or an intention for this practice, you may do so. I'd like to send gratitude to the people of South Asia who have created and cultivated this beautiful yogic practice that we all benefit from. Your eyes were closed, you may blink them open. So to begin, we're just going to do some simple head rolls. So bringing our right ear to our right shoulder and just rolling back and forth. Just really nice and easy. This simple movement will invite some blood to this area. Go as slow or as quickly as feels good for you. Next time you come to the right, we'll wait and hold here. If you'd like, you can place your left hand beside you and bring your right hand and just gently, you don't need to pull on your neck, but just the weight of your hand is enough just to give that little extra. But it's also not required. If you're getting a really nice sensation without this additional modification, then you don't need to do it. Whatever feels best in your body. And we'll release. Slowly roll to the other side. And we'll repeat that on the other side. Bringing your hand to your head if that feels good. But allowing gravity to take hold of your head and just stretch these, as you can see for me, they're quite tense muscles on the side of your neck. You don't ever want to feel pain when you're doing this though. It should be a nice, relaxing, it might be uncomfortable, but should generally be a relaxing sensation you're feeling. And we'll release. And we'll bring our head so that we're looking straight down. And again, just letting gravity taking hold of our heads and lengthening the muscles that line our cervical spine. If you'd like, you can take one hand. I typically do both hands and I interlace my fingers and I just kind of let them hang out on the back of my skull just to give that little assist to help pull my chin to my chest and let those muscles along my cervical spine, it goes down into my thoracic spine as well. And this is really good for your lats as well. Make sure you're breathing here. And we'll release. Oh, that feels good already. So the next thing we're going to do is, I'll come to the side so you can see it a bit better, is we'll take our hands and clasp them behind your back. If this doesn't feel good for your shoulders, you could grab a yoga strap or a towel, a tie, anything, if it feels better to have your grip farther apart. But we'll just grab our hands, clasp our hands, and just pull them away, just opening up our chest. Allowing our collarbones to widen. So you can stay here if this feels good, but if you'd like, you can take bending your right elbow. That will naturally pull your left hand across your back, like this. And that just gives a nice stretch across the side of my shoulder. And we'll release that and we'll come to the other side. So bringing your hand to the other side of your hip. If it doesn't come all the way over, the point is to just find that sensation where you're feeling the opening of your shoulder on the side here. And we'll release that. And from here, we're going to make our way into a tabletop pose. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and our knees are hip width apart. And we'll just come into a nice cat-cow here. So inhale, dropping your belly, looking up. Exhale, pushing away. Really flexing the upper spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. When I'm inhaling, I'm pulling my feet towards my knees. This pulls my chest forward and opens up my collarbones in a really nice way, and the fronts of my shoulders. Exhale, push the ground away. You can drop your head here as well. Give your head a shake if that feels good. Inhale, look up. Exhale. Just continue here at your own pace for 3 more breaths. Oh, it feels better already. So from here, we're going to come back, take a few steps back, keeping our hands in place, and we're going to melt our heart to the mat. So you can bring your hands forward if that feels good, and just come down until you feel a really nice opening in your shoulders. When I say nice opening, it might not feel really nice. It might feel uncomfortable. This pose is very difficult for myself as well. So it doesn't matter how far down you come. The purpose is not to try and get your chest to the mat. It's to open up your armpits, sort of. And I feel it really on the tops of my shoulders as well. This might not be comfortable for you, so an option here is to come into a child's pose with your hands in front. This might be for you just as effective as doing the melting heart pose or the puppy pose. So select whatever feels best in your body. This is a really nice opener as well. And if you want to start here and then maybe start to slide your hands forward, that's a really nice way of entering this as well. So we'll stay here for 3 breaths. And we'll begin to rise here. Come out of this slowly. You might have some saturation in your shoulders, so give them a bit of a roll if that feels good. And then from here, we are going to come into downward dog. So tucking our toes, pushing our hips back, and we'll pedal our feet here. This is your first downward dog of the day. This might be one of those, it feels good, but it doesn't feel good moments. I have a lot of those in yoga, so, but as always, there should be no pain. The no pain, no gain does not work in a yogic setting. So just really enjoying this simple movement. This always feels really good on my calves. We'll come to stillness here. And remember, if you need to bend your knees here, whatever, your legs don't have to be super straight. You never want to have joints locked out, and your heels don't have to be touching the floor. So enjoy whatever space you're in, wherever moment you are in your downward dog journey. And even here, you can give your head a shake. You want to be kind of intending your neck nice and long. From here, we'll drop our knees once again, coming into a tabletop, and we're going to do thread the needle, that you may or may not have seen before. So we're going to plant our hands just like in a tabletop setting. We're going to make sure that our right hand is planted firmly. We're going to inhale our left arm up, and exhale, we're going to thread it underneath the right. And we're going to, as long as it's comfortable for you, bringing our head to the floor. So your neck should be nice and long here. Just breathe, allowing this openness across your back. Planting our right hand, we'll inhale back up. Planting our left hand now, we're going to inhale our right arm up. Exhale, threading it underneath our left arm. Inhale, back up. And we'll do that one more time on each side. So we'll inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. And when you're in your poses, feel free to adjust. Just because you're in a pose doesn't mean you have to be stuck in that exact same position. Maybe after you're in the pose for a little while, you can find some more length, or maybe something just starts to not feel good, so you can adjust. Just so you know, when I first started, I didn't think I could, and I was like, oh, doesn't feel good. So listen to your body. Planting a right hand, we'll inhale back up. Left hand is firmly planted, inhale, right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Make sure you're breathing into your belly here. Nice big breaths. Inhale, back to center. From here, we're going to come back into our downward dog and just see the difference now of how open our shoulders feel. Maybe there's no difference, so don't worry if that's where you're at today, that's where you're at today. So we'll roll forward, coming into a plank pose, dropping our knees, chest, chin. We're going to straighten our legs out, coming right onto our bellies, planting our hands on the mat here. And we're going to just do a couple Sphinx Cobra-like push-ups. So inhale, we'll push the ground away, coming up as far as feels good for you. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. When we're doing this, we're making sure that our elbows are still really close to our ribcage. You don't want them flaring out to the side. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one, inhale up. Exhale down. That should have given your shoulders some nice blood flow there. So from here, we will push up onto our knees, tuck our toes, and come back into a downward dog once again. Nice long neck. From here, we're going to walk slowly up to the top of our mat. Bend your knees as much as you want to here. And we're going to come into a forward fold. So again, having your knees bent does not mean you're doing it wrong. You don't want to have your knees locked out. You don't want to have pain. And we want to have our hinging from our hips. So bend your knees as much as you want to here. As long as you're feeling a nice lengthening in the back of your legs, you're doing it right. So again, you can give your head a shake here. Just allow your neck to be long and your head really weighty. Let gravity really take a hold of your skull. Just let it hang there. This really nice, natural gravity assist opening of our lengthening, I guess, of the backs of our legs and our spine is really, really nice. So try and see if you're holding tension, possibly in other parts of your body, or if you're referring tension. So even though you're like, oh wow, the backs of my legs are feeling really good, you might be clenching your stomach or your neck or your jaw. So try and pay attention to those. Once you start to feel like, oh, I'm really relaxed right now in this part of my body I'm trying to relax, see if you've just moved it somewhere else, because I definitely do that. It's very common. So if this feels okay, you have the option of, again, kind of like when we were sitting down, taking your hands and just gently pulling your chin to your chest and curling your neck, just to create some more length in your cervical spine. You can release your head if you were choosing that option. We're going to do another shoulder opener, similar to where we were seated, where we are clasping our hands behind our back. Again, if you want to use a towel or anything that allows you to have a wider grip, if that's more comfortable for you, then knock your socks off. But what we're going to do here is we're going to bring our hands away from our back and kind of allow gravity to take our arms. And just allow this gentle gravity assist to open and lengthen our shoulders. Your head should still be really weighty. Try to not lock out your elbows here. We'll bring our hands back into our sacrum and then we'll release them. It's a little easier on the arms. Whew, that feels good in the shoulders. So we'll bring our hands back to the mat. If you need to bend your knees a lot to do that, then go ahead and do that. And again, we'll walk back into a plank. Knees, chest, chin. We'll inhale up into a cobra or an upward dog, whatever feels best in your body. Just allow this lengthening. And come back into our downward dog. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale back to plank. And knees, chest, chin back down. And then we're going to come right onto our bellies again. We're going to bring our arms out into a T shape. We want to make sure that our arm is coming directly out of our shoulder. So we don't want to have it down like this or up too high. We want it to be coming at a straight line. So I'll start with my left arm. So I'm going to bring my left cheek to the mat and my right hand is flat. Then I'm going to push off the mat, rolling to my side. This is all going to depend on the flexibility in your shoulder. This should be really careful motion, noticing if anything's feeling uncomfortable. But this can be also a really lovely passive shoulder opener as well. So again, you don't have to have your foot behind you. Having your right foot on the other side of your left leg is just a way to kind of balance you if you're on the side of your body. But if just coming up like this is you're feeling a nice opening in your shoulder, then that's where you should stay. There's no need, you're still getting the same benefits if you're here as if you're here. It all just depends on where you at and your shoulder flexibility. So take a few moments and just really enjoy this opening. Exhale, we'll roll back to center, coming really slowly, making sure that you're using your right arm to have control over your roll. Control your roll, okay, people? Just gotta, I couldn't help myself. Okay, so we're gonna do this on the right side. So again, making sure that it's a 90-degree angle from your body to the out. You want a straight shot out of your shoulder. Plant your left hand and roll to wherever feels good for you. We'll roll back to center, taking our time, allowing yourself to feel whatever you're feeling in your shoulders. That felt really good for me. We're gonna roll right onto our backs here. So we'll take our legs up in the air, we'll grab the backs of our thighs, and we're just gonna rock them back and forth a little bit. And then we'll come up to seated. And we're gonna come into another forward fold. So nice tall spine, piggies to the sky. So we're gonna hinge from our hips like we usually do with any forward fold. But this time when we fold, we're gonna try and keep our chin to our chest. So get those double chins ready because they are coming out in full force. So bring your chin to your chest, give the little chins a tickle if you so fancy, and we will still fold forward, hinging from our hips as we said. But with adding this chin to chest, it's gonna once again open up those little tiny muscles along our spine that attach to our vertebrae. It's gonna allow those to lengthen. And for me, I feel the length of my spine, right from my lumbar right to my cervical. And just again, allow gravity to take over a little bit here. Again, it doesn't matter how far down you're coming. You don't have to have your chest to your thighs. Just wherever you're at, wherever you start to feel that sensation, that's where you should be. Check to see if you're transferring any tension from one area of your body to another. If things start to feel intense, you can back away, back out of the pose a little bit, But if it's something that you feel that you can ride out, again, no pain, allow your breath to help you with that. If I'm feeling a lot of intensity in a pose, I use my breath to inflate that area. On your next inhale, we'll rise slowly, coming up vertebrae by vertebrae. Really nice and slow. That does feel good, I have to say. So from here, we'll slide our buttons down a little bit. Grab the backs of our thighs and we'll roll back down slowly onto our spines. We'll bring our feet right up into the air. And just do a legs up wall, sans wall. So just legs up in the air. You can flex and point your toes. That feels nice. And circle your ankles a little. This pose is really nice for the end of the day. It allows all that blood to drain from your legs. Just come to, from here we will bring our feet down and we'll drop our knees to the side, coming into a nice twist. You can bring your arms up in a cactus shape if you'd like, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, center, drop legs to the right, look over your left shoulder. Coming back to center, we'll come into corpse pose or shavasana. This is where we get to absorb all the goodness that we've just shook up from our beings. So you can either pause this video and have a longer shavasana. If you feel ready, you can roll to the left. We'll make our way back up to seated. Closing your eyes if that feels good. And just simply observing once again how you feel after that asana practice. We'll bring our hands to heart center, bowing our heads. I want to thank you so much for allowing me to assist in your yoga practice. No matter where you go next week, next year, know that you are seen, you are loved, and you are divine. Take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Maple Flavored Yoga.